Hi there everybody, I'm Bill with Tiny House Prepper, and I'd like to start telling you about some of the other YouTube channels that we subscribe to that we like to follow. Now, if you've watched our channel at all, you know that we live in an RV travel trailer set permanently on our property. It's not technically a tiny house, it's a travel trailer, but since it's permanently set here, 250 square feet, we consider it an RV. We consider it a tiny house. Now, so do we subscribe to other tiny house channels? Well, yes and no.
Tiny House Prepper.
You see, I'm not so much into tiny houses per se as I am into tiny living, and specifically tiny living with a side of adventure. What do I mean by that? Basically, we like to subscribe to channels of people who live full-time in either an RV or a sailboat. They still have the same tiny living experience that we do. Many of them are 200 or between 200 and 400 square feet. But because of their mobility, their ability to travel with an RV or a travel trailer or sail in a boat, they get a lot of adventures that we don't get, and I really enjoy that. So it combines the tiny living with the adventurous lifestyle that I really enjoy. So one such channel that I've recently discovered that I really enjoy is a channel called Nomadic Dane. It's a man named Lars, and here's Lars. You can see him here. He lives in Denmark, as you can imagine from the name. He lives full-time in a travel trailer that he pulls behind his car. Now, on the channel, you get to see the daily life of living in a travel trailer, living in an RV like this, including, putting on solar and all of those kinds of things. Also, many full-time RVers try to make a living on the road somehow, but he has a full-time job, so he goes to work every day, and then when he comes home from work, he goes to his trailer and he goes in boondocks someplace. I've never seen him go into a campground where he has to pay. He always finds a free place to boondock. So you see his daily life in the trailer of finding a place to boondock on the street or in a park or at a friend's house or whatever. And it's kind of neat because you get to see a lot of Denmark that you normally wouldn't. Let me tell you a short little story about myself. We were stationed in Germany for 3 years when I was in the Army. We were in Würzburg, Germany, and I was in the 3rd Infantry Division Band. I was a trombone player. Anyway, we were there for 3 years. And so while we were there, we got to know a lot of the out-of-the-way places that only the locals knew about. We found lots of little guest houses and restaurants and things like that where the food was really good, and places that small towns that locals knew about that tourists would never find. From time to time, we would run into somebody, an American, who was touring Europe with a Eurail pass. They'd go for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and with the Eurail pass, you can just get on the train and you travel anywhere in Europe for free if you have the pass. And they were having the time of their life, but they found that after they got home, they had to actually look at the pictures that they took to find out where they had been, because it was a whirlwind tour. They go a day or two in each city and then move on to the next. But I loved living there and being able to just take our time and get to know the countryside and get to know all the little out-of-the-way castles that we visited and things like that. That's what I experienced with Nomadic Dane, with Lars, boondocking in a different place every day. When I was in Europe, I was able to visit 7 countries, but I never got to Denmark. And so I get to see the little out-of-the-way local places of Denmark because of where he goes. He would go to a local park where they have great trails for mountain biking, and he did some mountain biking. He would just places like that I really enjoy seeing, the out-of-the-way places of Denmark. Also, he would go to typical tourist places, like he did a video of touring the Frederiksberg Castle, which was built in the 17th century by King Christian IV. Beautiful castle. And he also has a video of touring a Viking harbor, so you get to see a lot of the more typical tourist places of Denmark. So I really enjoy that. I really enjoy seeing Denmark as well as seeing his daily life in the trailer. And you know, he's just kind of a regular guy, and he's got a very gentle spirit, but what I have discovered is that he has a very adventurous spirit as well, and I really enjoy that. I first discovered it because he told a story of a trip that he took when he was younger, when he went from his home in Denmark down to Paris, which I think he said was 1,100 kilometers or 1,300 kilometers, something like that, I don't remember. But anyway, he did the entire trip on roller skates. Now, this was before inline skates. This was when they had the old four-wheel, you know, 2-and-2 kind of skates. And so he told the story of this trip, skating trip that he took to Paris. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. And then I discovered that he's actually a world traveler. He would put on a backpack and just go and see what he would find. And he lived in Thailand for a number of years. And by the way, Lars, I would really like to see more stories of your world travels. I think that would be great. I really enjoy that. So, if you'd like to see an RVer, full-time RVer who lives in Denmark, and if you'd like to see some of Denmark, it's a great channel. I really recommend it. Nomadic Dane. Check it out. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Goodbye.